All right, here it is, the light of truth. The road to enlightenment. The road to all the love, joy, peace, and abundance you could ever want. The road to your best self. The road to your best life. The road to where you want to go. And how do we get there? That's the question, right? Is it church? Is it religion? Is it some sort of new age, ritualistic type craziness? What is it? Is it a cult? I'm making a joke. It's not a cult. Is it being open and honest with yourself about who you are and about where you're going, about what your life's supposed to be? Is it being open and honest to the possibilities of what you may actually be here for and what you may actually be here to accomplish? Is it being open? And I would say the first step, the first thing you need to do if you want to find the truth. And so many of us want to find the truth of this life, the truth of humanity, the truth of our suffering, of our pain, of our fear, of our anxiety. We want to understand, what is it all for? What are we doing here? And once we figure that out, man, everything is an amazing, amazing place. So what are we here for? What do we need to do? What's our first step? What's the first step? So this organization that I am starting, my name is Tad Krutka. I'm starting this organization. I am not a church. I'm going to say that right out front. I'm not a church. I'm not a philosophy. I'm not some bunch of rules you need to follow or understand. I'm not some new age guru. I'm not going to show you witchcraft or anything crazy. What I'm going to show you is a quick and easy way to understand what the present moment is, what the essence of eternity is, and this is what I use. This is the word I use to refer to as God. And I don't use the word God normally in my teaching, because God is a overused term that gives people preconceived notions about what they're actually trying to do. Okay, so we're not going to use the word God. We're going to use the essence of eternity instead of the word God. Okay, and so the goal of what I'm trying to teach you is to connect with the essence of eternity, to actually connect with the essence of eternity. Because if you can connect with the essence of eternity, which is, again, the present moment, this God, this is what all the faiths and religions and all the different philosophies, this is what they're talking about when they talk about God. This is what they mean. Okay, it's the essence of eternity. This is the new term, okay? So this essence of eternity, when we connect with the essence of eternity, what you are connecting with is the all-pervading power of every aspect of everything that we could know in the universe, in the world that we live in. It's everything. It's everywhere. It's all the time. Okay? And so when you connect with this, and the power in this is that when you ultimately are this, right? So you as a human being on this planet experiencing life is the manifestation of the essence of eternity. You are the manifestation of the Spirit of God himself, okay? And he is not a man in the sky. That's why I changed the name. He's not a benevolent being that's overseeing everything. That's not the way it works. It's not. You got to get that idea out of your head. It's not that. The essence of eternity is a intelligent. I can't even describe it. It's an intelligence that operates throughout all of known creation, and it operates basically to experience itself. Is ultimately what it's doing. So what we need to do as human beings is get to know that essence, to know what it is around us, in other people, and ultimately in us. And when we get to know that thing on that level, when we get to understand it on the level of the depth and the depth that it is, and get to experience it, what you'll see is that your life will start to kind of mirror that feeling. So when you connect with this essence of eternity, and you're on that level all the time. What you feel in your heart and your mind is peace, ultimately. Peace, love, joy, and abundance. All those things that every human being across the world and all of time is looking for are those things. We find it in many earthly ways that aren't healthy, that aren't good for us, like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? Which are things that we may love, but if we can connect to this present moment, you'll realize that a lot of those things you don't really need and don't really want after you connect to the present moment, because you get what you actually are looking for when you connect, okay? So the point of this organization, what I'm trying to do is give people, again, a clear-cut journey from point A to point enlightened, right? And we use the word enlightenment, loosely, but it's really, enlightenment is the idea of connecting to this present moment and connecting to the eternity, the essence of eternity. Okay, again, that's the word I'm using, the essence of eternity. And you may be like, oh, he's repeating himself. I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to change the way you think about things. I don't want you to preconceived notion, well, I know what the present moment is. That's just here and now. Yes and no. Yes, and that it is the moment that is you're currently living in. But it is a perception that you must tune your mind to, because most people can't quiet their thoughts and emotions quiet enough to be able to really get to the present moment, or really to perceive the present moment. And it is a perception. It is a as you're experiencing life, if you experience it from that present moment, you're looking almost from a top down point of view at life, as opposed to from a bottom up, okay, from or inside out point of view, right? It's more of a all-pervading kind of perception, as opposed to one perspective, okay? If you are caught up in your emotions and your thoughts and you're experiencing what's going on around you, a lot of times what you'll be experiencing, you'll feel alone, you'll feel cut off, you won't feel this connection to spirit, you'll feel small, you'll feel like you can be easily defeated. That's why, and in this day and age, with anxiety and depression rampant through our culture, whether you're in North America or you're somewhere in European culture or you're somewhere in the Far East, there is anxiety and depression is at an all-time high. And it's because there's so many folks that have been cut off or don't know how to get to this present moment, this essence of eternity, and turn to drugs and alcohol and all these other things to get there. So the mission is to get you there. That's what my mission is. That's what I'm trying to get done. That's what all of the people that are working for this organization are trying to do. We're trying to help you to understand what the present moment is, the essence of eternity, right? And then help you to get there. Okay. Now, while I'm saying this, I'm also going to say that, well, we're not a religion, okay? But we are going to use religion or sacred texts primarily from different religions to describe this essence that I'm talking about, this essence of eternity, to describe the ways to get there, okay? Because there's a lot of different ways to get there, or there's a few ways to get there, but so sometimes it takes repetition and learning different perspectives and learning from the different spiritual masters that have come through the ages. They all have different ways of getting there. They're all describing the same thing. That's the other thing that especially in this opening dialogue, what I want you to understand is that everything that in Christianity, in Buddhism, in Hinduism, in the Far Eastern religions, in the Islam, all of these different religions, right? These are all spin-offs from the same wisdom. It's the same wisdom. And if you start to research them, and if you stick with us long enough, you'll start to see, we'll draw parallels between these sacred texts, and you'll start to realize that we fight wars because we come from different religions or different perspectives or different sets of rules. And if you look at some of those rules, a lot of those rules have to do with earthly things, right? You talk about marriage and commandments and living a moral life, and there's a place for that. And religion is good at making people aware of those earthly things that we should be cognizant of, that we should be trying to be good citizens and good and try to do all that stuff. But religion's missing the point. The point of in my mind, of religion should have never been, hey, how do I be a good person? But maybe that, but also as the primary focus, how do I commune with the divine essence? How do I get to the essence of eternity, or God, if you will, right? And how do I cultivate that connection, and then ultimately, am able to work in that connection, or let Spirit work through me in a way that I'm able to really have an impact on my life, on my own life, and the lives of those people that I'm able to touch. So, and that's really the goal, right? That's what we're focused on, is developing that divine connection, or that connection to the essence of eternity, and then using that connection to cultivate a life that becomes an example to others, or becomes a force in other people's lives to help draw them to the same realizations, and ultimately to the essence of eternity, where they can do the same by default. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, we're trying to get folks to understand the present moment, and then to grow with it, and then through osmosis, if you will, they almost become beacons of light for other people who are touched by their lives. And so it becomes a pretty cool idea when you start to really take it down and understand what we're trying to do. Now, what happens though is that we get a lot of this messages. There's other folks that are trying to do this kind of stuff. You've got a lot of spiritual leaders. You have a lot of people who talk about like law of attraction, and Rhonda Byrne put together a ton of people that understand the basic how the universe and how God kind of works in the universe. And so there's a lot of different people talking about this sort of stuff. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring it all together and into one space where somebody can really take it as a plan, as a map, and they can take it and they can walk the map. And as they walk the map, they start to have the realizations that they need to have to be able to really connect. Not in just an awe-inspired moment, right? So a lot of times you see people will connect with the present moment when there's this beauty, or there's something really interesting going on, or there's something profound going on. But the goal is to get as many people as possible to be able to access the present moment at any moment. Once at any given time, that they can just flip their mind to that frequency, and then they can be in the present moment, and then they can be acting through it. And this takes can take a lot of time and effort. It's taken me a long time. I really think that I've been on this journey since I was a kid, but it really got real for me in 2016, and then another probably enlightened moment happened in 2019. Really forcing my search, and then only now in 2021 can I say that I have found what I believe to be is the present moment. What I believe to be is the essence of eternity. What I believe to be is God. And now I have a perspective that 2 years ago I could have never even dreamed of, even though I had moments of it, or brief glimpses of the eternal moment, the essence of eternity. I couldn't continually return there. But now in my life, I have the ability, luckily, thankfully, thank the universe, thank God, thank whoever I got to thank, that I can now flip to that moment, just almost like a light switch in my mind. And when I act through that moment, my God, it's like everything just flows. The life just flows together in a really awesome and amazing way. And it flows in a way where I don't have to force it. I don't have to put tons of effort into it. And you know what? I feel like I'm on my path. I feel like I'm on the road. So that's what we're doing. That's the point of what we're doing. And it's this light of truth, right? Idea that it's really the truth of our existence is what we're after. And so that's where we're going. And this is just the first of a series of videos that are going to take you through what I believe is the roadmap. Now I'm also going to have this written as well, so you can experience this with with writing. You know, if you do better with a book, you also have these videos. So you have all these different resources, right? And you know, eventually I'm going to be doing, you know, live events where we can actually, you know, be in a room together and talk through some of these things, and then really so you can get to experience them. So, anyways, listen, I love you guys. I think it's great that you're here. I'm so excited for you. My name is Tad Krutka. If you are inspired by what we're doing, I encourage you to donate. Anything you've got. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying it's required to get the Enlightenment, but it does help. So I appreciate you. Stay in touch and get ready for the next video.